screen, on the side of your screen. Adam, that means we are live.
This shit's fire.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another live Pendergast podcast on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I hope your guys' day is filled with, family, friends, love, and laughter, and last but not least, proper mega wheelies, right? You got to get that road racing in sometime during the day, right? Obviously, the seasons are over, so it's rerun time. All my mates out there in the FIM International taking place. Cameron Swain, my buddy from ASBK. I got Avery Dreyer over there. We got Michaela Moore. We got Matthew Chapin. It's so you guys tune in and watch that. Freaking awesome. I can't wait. Mallory Dobbs. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute honor to sit down with the legend himself, Adam Brown. But before we get into this episode is sponsored by Next Level Financial. Take control of your financial future. Get your complimentary financial analysis today by Seth Starnes. And Adam, I'll tell everybody this: don't spend your hard-earned money on an off-the-rack suit, because for 90% of us, it's not going to fit you correctly. When you have a suit that does not fit you correctly, Adam, it hinders body position, the whole thing on the motorcycle. I recommend everybody go to bisontrack.com. Robert and Tasha and Carter are some of the most amazing people you're ever going to meet in your life. And what they do for our sport is, it's simply amazing what they do. Adam, so I don't know if you ever heard of Bison. So Bison is at every Moto America racetrack event, right? So if you have a crash during practice or whatever, your suit needs coloring and filling and all that stuff, right? They'll fix it for you right there on the spot. And they also take care of every other brand out there too. So let's say if you're in a Revit suit or an RST suit, right? You have a mishap, you walk straight up to Bison, they'll take care of you, right? There's nobody else in the paddock that I know of anywhere else in the world that does that. Takes care of everybody, right? So yeah, bisontrack.com. People, Christmas is coming up. They got a big discount going on now. So what are you guys waiting on? Join the herd. But yeah, Adam, listen, mate, it's an absolute honor to have you on the podcast.
Thank you.
Man, we got a lot to talk about, right? Obviously, I'm a big BSB fan, right? It's my favorite race organization out of MotoGP, yada, yada, yada. It's you guys are absolutely incredible. Your tracks, the history, to me, it's the most prestigious production-based racing in the world, in my personal opinion. And the tracks you guys have, Cadwell Park, Brands Hatch, come on, Thruxton, it's freaking amazing, right? So listen, I can't wait to get into this. Adam, tell us your journey, man. Your humble beginnings on two wheels. Where did it start?
My career actually started a short time ago in 2022. I got my first bike in 21, Ninja 400 Kawasaki. Never rode a motorbike before that. Went to the track here in Northern Ireland and sort of just took to it like a duck to water, and it was an immediate love for the sport. And then we done a couple of races in the end of the 2021 season, and then a good mate of mine, he was moving over to MSS Performance, Nick Morgan's team, for the 2022 junior supersport season. So he gave us his old bike, and that's really where it stemmed from. Sort of just a random thing that appeared. It was, do you want to go motorbike race? And I said yeah, and we done a lot of winning that year and back at home. And then when we came back till it was about July time, and I got a text message from Leon Haslam. Don't know how he got my number, still don't know to this day, but got a text message that asked that I want to come and do a track day at Donington Park with him and his dad Ron, and I immediately said yes. So a week later we flew over to Donington Park. Basically got the grips with Donington pretty quick, and after an evening session I got offered the ride, and then that was it. We went to BSB, and from there it's been amazing.
What an amazing journey. Short journey too, from where you started to where you are right now, right? So growing up, was your dad involved in motorcycles too? Like you never got like a little 50 or anything that growing up? You just said, hey, let's go to a track and ride. He was like, all right, let's go. Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Right. Because everybody's got their own unique, beautiful story and journey on how they got into motorcycles and what transformed it into racing. Right. Yours is very brief, and I would, man, crap myself if Leon Haslam called me up and his dad, Rocket Ron, right? Because I'm a huge fan. Rocket Ron, everybody knows, 70s, 80s, 60s. Yeah, and then his son Leon. It's absolutely amazing, dude. I wouldn't know what to say, bro. I'd be like, how do I reply to this? But good stuff, man. That's awesome. And so we actually have a comment already coming in from Lennox. What is up, Lennox? Lennox Dickinson. I hope I said that right. He says, ask him about the new Transit.
That's one of my best mates from home. So he's on about the new van that I bought. So I bought a new van. He's just being cheeky shit. Like,
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. So does Lennox do track days and stuff with you too? Do you guys ride together or?
we do a lot of motocrossing together. Lennox is a really good and talented motocross racer, and he's only 16, so he's racing British motocross MX2 Pro. So it's nice because we can push each other in a way that it doesn't get competitive or anything, that it doesn't ruin anything, because it's two different sports at the end of the day, but the principle's the same. So it's a nice balance to have.
Oh, for sure, right? It's always good to have a mate that you can go and train with, right? And as far as that competitive edge, you're always competitive in a little bit ways, right? You always want to push each other because that's what makes you iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? His is on the dirt, yours is on the road, but the dirt translates so much, teaches you so much about, front grip when you because it's constantly moving,
Yeah.
and you get the feel for it in the rear. And yeah, man, it's absolutely amazing. So, man, what a brief short period you made it to, right? So listen, 2024, you was with I don't want to mess up the name. Rocky.
The Rocket Rookies team.
Yeah, Rocket on the Kawasaki
Yeah.
ZX6R. Talk to us about your 2024 season. Did you have any expectations going in since it was your first proper season, or?
Well, we had a test in Spain for 4 days in February, late February, and things were going extremely well for the first time on a 600, and there was just something changed when we got onto that super sport bike. I don't know whether it was mindset, confidence, or what happened, but then it sort of started to deteriorate for a few rounds. But the 2024 season was a big learning curve for me. So obviously, yourself, were riding a Ninja 400 with 4850 brake horsepower and then jumping onto a 140 brake horsepower bike. We probably should have made a step in between, like sport bike or something. But um, Leon pushed me to go super sport. That's the route we went. We did have some good races, like for instance the Cadwell Park weekend. Yes, we didn't finish where we would like to have because of crashes and stuff, but the pace was hot. Thruxton pace was good, just got a bit unlucky. And Open Park pace was good, so we showed promise. A few freak crashes, should I say, that led to a bit of a confidence knock for a few rounds, like down Craner Curves at Donington, probably the fastest sector on the calendar. I high sided down that. Just freak, didn't know what happened, just lost it on the third lap of a track day, and sort of knocked my confidence for a bit. But I still have to thank everybody that was involved in that 2024 journey, because as I said to Leon, whenever the new opportunity came up, I can't fault them for what they've done for me, because at the end of the day, if they didn't take me to where I was, the new opportunity wouldn't have came around.
I love it. I love it. Right. We'll get into 2025 here shortly. So at Cadwell Park, I had mentioned that everybody knows it's my favorite track, right? I love BSB. Everybody knows that too. So, in your opinion, what was your best race out of this season? At what track?
Probably race 2 at Cadwell, to be truthfully honest, because the pace, I had for the first time all year, pace for the top 11 or 12. But I just got unlucky, and I'd actually crashed on the Friday in FP1 at the end of the back straight. If you know the end of the back straight, it's fast. Grabbed the front brake, nothing really happened, and it was just jump off or try and make the corner. So I jumped off, and I ended up trapping a nerve in my arm, my ulnar nerve, and subluxing, what they call subluxing on my shoulder. So it just came partially out, but it was causing me like a arm pump feeling without the arm pump, and it was the best race I've had all year. But we got unlucky and didn't finish it. But the lap times and the enjoyment I got out of that race was by far probably one of the best moments of this year.
I love it. I love it. And since you're pretty new to obviously the sport because you started just a couple years ago, this year, what's the one rider that pushed you the hardest, right? And what did you learn from that?
Probably would have to say my two teammates, because it was always we always helped each other. There was times that Mikey was incredible this year, to be honest. For a bike that has very little data, very underdeveloped, he pushed that thing as hard as it could go. But there was places I could have been better than him, places he could have been better than me, and we always pushed each other. And obviously Joe Fargo, we sat down in the evenings, we discussed it. So it was more, instead of being pushed so much on the track, it was sort of just pushing each other behind the scenes and trying to figure out where we're stronger than each other and make the whole thing work.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, a lot of people, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, motorcycle racing is such a mental sport, right? It's probably, in my opinion, it's the most mental sport there is besides golf, right?
Yeah.
Which a lot of motorcycle racers play a lot of golf, and I think that's one of the main reasons why is because of the mental toughness that you got to develop to read the greens on different pars and all this yada 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 stuff. I play golf. I'm a pro at Tiger Woods golf on the PlayStation, right? In real life, not so much. You know what I mean? It's fun, but yeah, I suck. But yeah, it's how do you overcome the mental challenge when you're having like a hard race weekend, right?
It's sort of, this year in particular, I've been learning more, but in towards the first half of the season, I didn't deal with it very well. It was emotional the first half of the year, because it was always knocking myself. No matter what I did, it was always knocking myself. The mental challenges I faced at the start of the year, it was more bottled up, and then try and make it work without trying to overcome it. So it just led to a lot of doubt in myself and a lot of issues mentally throughout the year.
Yeah, it's to me that's one of the toughest things to overcome, but that's why it's also so important to have people that really truly believe in you and stand behind you right through those tough times that help you get out of that mental rut, right? Because that's what it is. It's like a little barrier we put up mentally. We don't know it at the time because we struggled, and once we figure that out and we jump that hurdle and we knock it down, then we broke through it, right? It don't affect us again anymore. So yeah, man, that's one thing that so I didn't start this podcast, right? These other two guys, Northeast Jules and Andy Rowe, actually started this Pin the Gas podcast, and they invited me on. I was the first guest, and we used to do motorcycle racing reviews, right? So fast forward, Jules got a girlfriend and a new job. He didn't have a whole lot of time to put it in. Andy went a different direction, so it was either kind of just let it go and happen when it happens, or take it over and run with it, which is what I chose to do. But to me, it was super mental, right? Because I was like, I can't do this by myself. Like I need a co-host, right? I don't know what to say. Like I just don't know, you know? But obviously here I am a year and a half later doing it by myself. It was, again, that mental barrier that I struggled with. But I found a way through it, and yeah, here we are. You know, it's if I didn't have my wife, you know, you can do this, you got this, blah blah blah, people like that pushing me on, wanting to see me do it, I wouldn't be here right now. So Yeah, same thing with a team, right? You need people in the team that absolutely believe in you, Adam.
Yeah.
Meaning that when you show up on the weekend, no matter what the week brought earlier, everybody's cheering you on. Nothing but good vibes. You can do this. You got this. You go out there and you don't have a good show and good outing, no good feelings with the bike, but everybody behind you is like, dude, you got this, bro. Like, you're way more capable than this. We've seen it. You've done it, right? So that also helps you overcome that hurdle a lot quicker versus, oh, what are you doing, Adam? Like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Question you instead of standing behind you, right? It's two different things.
Yeah.
Lennox says big things coming for 2025. The man to watch next season. Absolutely, man. So we also have another legend in the house right now. My mate Jake Marsh, the legend, Mr. Brown. Jake's awesome, man. I love him and his
Yeah,
dad.
Jake's a good guy. Jake's a good
Yeah,
kid.
they're freaking amazing. They absolutely are. I can't wait to see him come back. I think he's going testing in Spain. I just seen this post. I want to say next week or next month. So yeah, it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good. So Adam, 2024 season, rate your season from 0 to 10. And you got to remember, it's your first season, right? So
Honestly, probably about a 6.
okay.
It had good moments and it had a lot of shit moments, but at the end of the day, we're back next year, and that's all we can take out of it, really.
I watched y'all season, right? Obviously, I watched BSB from beginning to end, and I personally rate your season 8.5 out of 10. And I say that because it was your first season. You showed so much promise and so much speed, right? And the way you carried yourself and handled yourself, that's a huge deal. Not, throwing fits, and nobody wants to be around that. You know what I'm saying? So the way you carried yourself, every time you get out there, you got faster and you progressed, right? So that's showing your progression, and you're still new to this, right? Let's just be
Yes.
honest. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10. That's me personally rating your season, knowing it was your first season. Can't wait to see you step on top of that podium next year, right? And in 2025 for sure. So that brings us, what's going on next year, mate?
So next year we're joining up with Josh Davis Motorsport, the official Yamaha team for Supersport. Big opportunity, massive opportunity. I really didn't think it was going to be offered to me. In fact, I didn't really think I was going to get much offers, but I got offers and it was surprising. So we're obviously sharing the Anna McCarter Brown and Morgan McLaren Wood, which Carter has showed a lot of promise on that package this year. So if he can do it, there's no reason why I can't. So it's just a matter of get the head down, work hard, because the package has been proven that it can definitely do it.
Oh, 100%. And again, you got those offers because people believe in you. They see that progression, they see that speed, they see that talent, right? So everybody, sent you some offers and got you on board, which is amazing. And I know you're super excited about riding the R6 because it's a big difference between the ZX6R and the R6. So have you rode the R6 yet?
No, I've only ever rode Kawasaki's, but I'm actually heading to Spain this Friday to hopefully get a first run on it. But I have hope. I have a lot of hope for it that I'm gonna adapt to that a lot better than what I adapted to the Kawasaki's.
Yeah, I obviously I've ridden both on track. To me, the Kawasaki to me, it don't handle as good, obviously,
Yeah.
right? The R6 is just a proper built track weapon first and foremost. The chassis is a lot better in my opinion on the R6. It has no freaking mid-range, right? Where the Kawasaki motor has decent mid-range where you can let the RPMs drop, maybe stay in a higher gear and yeah, just go. Where the R6 is, you're constantly keeping the rev, between
In a bracket,
right, like 4 or 5,000 RPMs. It's a sweet spot, high on top end. You fall flat after that. It's just like, okay, any day now, let's go. the feedback that I felt, I haven't rode many of them on the tracks. Like the longest stint I did was like 10 laps, and it was incredible. The confidence it immediately inspired, right? You know, you get on a bike, you go out there and you gotta, as anything, you slowly build up to it, where I felt like the R6, it was immediately just confident, inspiring from the first corner to when I pulled in after the session was over.
Yeah.
Love the bike. Great. Absolute great, and you're gonna love it. Absolutely gonna love it. I'm not talking nothing bad about the Kawasaki because it's a great platform, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's a beginner platform to get into super sport and keep climbing up that way, right?
Yeah.
Just because I think it's more forgiving, the Kawasaki is versus the R6,
Yeah.
so to speak. You can get away with a little bit more mistakes. That's just my personal view and opinion on it from me riding it. But what do I know, Adam, right? I'm not out here like you in BSB, right? Ripping it up, dude. So yeah, man. Even Jake Mark says R6, one of the nicest bikes to ride. I love them. Yeah, they are. They're and that's why you see so many of them out there on the racetracks and track days, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. So yeah, man, 2025. Do you have any expectations going into this season?
Obviously, the first one is I'm hoping for a lot better season than last year, or this year. Sorry that we had. But I think the thing with this year is going to be setting realistic expectations and goals. So until really I have my first run on the R6 on the new race bike, it's going to be hard to set an expectation because I don't want to set my expectations too low and I don't want to set them too high either. Because obviously, if I set them too low, I'll not have anything to push towards, and if I set them too high, I'm going to be disappointed if I don't achieve them.
Yeah. Do you think this is just how I see it outside looking in? Do you think when you set expectations on yourself, that's like another mental barrier you're prematurely putting up?
It creates pressure. It's a heavy thing to think about really whenever you're like, this is where I know I can be or this is where I think I should be, and then you're maybe half a second off that pace and it just fries your head as to why you can't do it. So I think
Yeah.
setting realistic expectations and goals is going to be the main thing for this year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's a question I ask a lot of the riders, right? All my friends that race. Yeah, I just feel like, same thing with superstitions, Adam, right? So if you got a superstitions way on how you get dressed or mentally prepare yourself for battle, because that's what I always call it. If you didn't, shit, I didn't put my left boot on before my right boot, that's why I didn't do as good, right? That's a certain mental barrier you done put up in your mind that's really unnecessary, right? But also it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I was bad at doing that shit too, right? And it was hard for me to let that go. You know what I'm saying? But once I did let it go, it was just like, first and foremost, you're there to have fun.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you're not having fun, Adam, you're not going fast. If you're not going fast, we're not having fun. So what's the point? So yeah, man, it's good stuff. We have another legend, Maximus Hardy. What is up, mate? He's watching the podcast. He's an absolute legend too. Oh man, so how do you train, Adam, for training besides motocross? Do you do like little pit bikes, supermoto?
I do a lot of pit biking. Well, not so much this year I haven't, but I do the mini bikes racing and stuff. I did a lot of it last year. But my thing is the motocross is a lot more predictable for me. Whereas them mini bikes, if you've rode one, when they snap, they go. So it's the more predictable side of things, one, to avoid injury, and two, to keep myself fit without putting myself in a dangerous position.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of mini bikes, right? I believe that obviously you're not going as fast. Yes, you can still hurt yourself, right?
Yeah.
But man, there's so much fun, right? And you learn so much, even though you don't realize you're learning because you're just having, because the whole time you're just grinning, dude, this is so much fun. And then you get on the big bike, you're like, I never felt that before, right? What is this, and that all comes from racing or training on mini bikes. I'm a big advocate for, starting out on or just practicing again on smaller bikes, whether it's a 250, freaking Ovale 160,
Yeah.
a CRF 110 or 150 or whatever it is. Out here, of course, flat track. To me, flat track is probably, in my personal opinion, one of the best ways you can
Yeah,
train.
absolutely.
Yeah, racing motorcycles. Because
Mm.
yeah, let's just be honest. There is no front brake, right? Well, I'm not talking
No,
about braking, but you're
full
constantly,
feel, yeah.
bro, the front, the rear, you just, and then when you get out there on the pavement and you're going, when that unpredictable slide happens, front, right? Even in the rear, the front to me is more scary
Yeah.
than the rear is, because you're like, oh shit, I just had my heart in my mouth. Like, what was that? You know, I'm gonna slow it down a little bit next time through that corner. Of course, we never do, because now that we found what that kind of feels like, we kind of want to replicate that to get
Yeah.
that feeling, right, on how much grip you actually have versus I don't have any grip now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sky ground, right? So yeah, man, it's imperative. It's just my personal opinion. So, man, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to watch you next season, man. Let's freaking go, bro. I know you're super excited, and I'm proud of you. And I know for a fact your parents are proud of
Yeah.
you and what you have achieved in that short duration of a career you've had so far, right? So, let me ask you this. My next question, Adam Brown, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what are your goals that you want to achieve in road racing?
In 5 years, I definitely want to have won a British Supersport title. I don't think that's unrealistic yet because at the end of the day, I have another year over me. Next year, we are very hopeful that the package is going to be a lot better and I can show how fast I am because we went from a fairly competitive, decent year in 23 at BSB in my first year in a 400, and then all of a sudden it was just it was hard work. So I'm hopeful that I can lift the BSB title by the time I'm another 5 years older.
Right. That absolutely you can, right? And it's not hopeful, you will, right?
Yeah.
I there's certain words that as my journey through life, I've taken out of my vocabulary, like hope, right? I don't never
Mhm.
use that word anymore. It's I'm going to do this. This is what
Yeah.
I'm going to achieve, right? And when you say that, it's positivity. It's to me, when you use the word I hope so, you're not even sure, because what really is hope, right? I
Yeah.
hope it rains today. I hope this, right? You can't, think of it like that. So
Yeah.
I always say this is what I'm going to achieve. This is where I want to be at in this time, right? Now, whether I make it there or not, that's
No
completely up
different.
to, yeah, up to you. So
Mm.
listen, I have no doubt you will. Again, Adam, I watched you and seen your progression in that short career you've had so far, and it's absolutely amazing. Your speed, your confidence, your just everything. I mean, you're an absolute rocket. You're a professional, and obviously you belong where you are in this sport because of that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, there's not a whole lot of people out there that has a story like you that started so late. I mean,
Yeah.
shit, 2022, it's 2025, it's 2 years, right?
Yeah.
We're going into 3. I mean,
Mm.
that's incredible. There's millions of people around this world that would do anything to be in your position right now, and they've got 15 years or whatever racing, right, from age 7. So it's yeah, man, congratulations, Adam. It's freaking amazing, man. Absolutely. So that purple shirt you have on, is that part of your new outfit?
Yeah, that's the team's merchandise or whatever you want to call it. So uh it was just announced on when was it announced? Tuesday. So I was hopeful that it would be announced before this because obviously show off the team for one and let everybody know where I'm going.
I love it, dude. I love it. I love it. I love it. We got a good mate of mine out here, Philip Hart. What is up, Philip? He races a BMW M1000, which is just mega mental, right?
Mm.
He's an absolute legend here in America. Then we got Chris Lewis. He's over there where you guys are at. He says, "Hi, Adam."
All right, man. How are you?
Yeah, he's a big fan. He comes to a lot of y'all's
Yeah.
races.
Sick.
He says, "Are you related to Carter?"
No, I'm actually not. It's just a real coincidence that the two of us have the same second name.
I love it, man. So how often do you get asked that question, Adam?
I've been asked it quite a few times already. So a lot of people that don't really know a lot about Mayor Carter from the outside. I always think now, oh, there's now two people that are named Brown on the same team. They have to be related, but no, it's just a complete coincidence.
I love it. So, do you have any brothers or sisters?
I actually have three sisters, but
Nice.
they're all a lot older than me, so they're all moved out of home and doing their thing now.
I love it, man. I love it. I have as I told you, I was a little late because I have a little brother. He's 8 years younger than me.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's always good to see, yeah, your brothers and sisters when
Yeah,
you don't
definitely.
get to see them very often, you
Mm.
know. Yes, Top Rack 54. Yes, you're absolutely right. This is my good buddy. He's Dennis Onshu and all them. He's a huge supporter of them. So Top Rack, I mean, he absolutely murdered it this year, right?
Oh,
Let's just
awesome.
be honest. It was so Adam, do you watch any road racing? It's like Moto America, Moto GP, World Superbike, or anything like that?
I would watch. See, I don't really like MotoGP. I find it hard to watch at times because it's not. I'd rather watch World Superbikes because it's more entertaining than MotoGP most of the time. So, but Moto America, I try to keep up to date with it now and again whenever I decide to stay up long enough at night to watch it. But I normally do watch the highlights back. But as for MotoGP, not really.
Yeah, dude. Of course, I'm a huge fan of MotoGP. Obviously, BSB's my favorite, but to me, MotoGP is more like an engineer sport more than it is
Yeah.
a motorcycle sport now, right? Which is a shame. But I mean, I had this conversation, Adam, with a good mate of mine the other day, and he's like, "Oh, we need more horsepower on bikes." I was like, "Absolutely not. We do not need no more horsepower on these
No.
bikes." I was like, "Matter of fact, all the super bikes, MotoGP bikes, all your super bikes, right? They dumb down the power and the torque to actually go faster at the track. So why
Yeah.
do we need 250 horsepower? We don't, right?
Yeah.
We're men and we got to have the biggest, baddest, most horsepower there is, right? But if you can't put it to the ground or control
There's
it,
no
then
point. Yeah. You
no
got to be able
point,
to use
right?
it for it to work.
Right. So I feel like it's like where super sport is now. I feel like in the next couple of years, super sport's going to be the main event. Superbike's not, you know. Look at how many entries are in super sport now. You got Kawasaki, Yamaha, Triumph, Ducati. I mean, you got all these different engine configurations and sizes that, you know, they control to make them competitive versus one another. That's really the class to be in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most watched class, in my personal opinion, the most people root for and cheer for the most.
Yeah.
Of course, dude, Tommy Birdwell and Glenn Irvin and all them, dude. It's at Ryan Vickers, dude. They're Kyle Ryder, absolute legends, you know?
Yeah.
But I just feel like the future of our sport, yeah, the 1000s aren't going to be the main event anymore. And if you look at the way manufacturers are pumping out motorcycles now, I mean, with the new R9 replacing the R7, which the R9 is going to be in the 600 class, right? Yeah, it's to me, that is absolutely our future. But what I'm gonna do for you, man, is when I get my new Moto America app, I'm gonna hook you up so you can actually watch the season in 2025 next year.
Amazing, thank you.
Yeah, enjoy it, man. It's do you ever see yourself racing in any other around the world, like Moto America, right? Like,
I would love to go to Moto America just to try it and see. I'm actually going to go and do a bit of ESBK this year in 25.
Nice.
So we're going to go and take part in another championship. But at the end of the day, the main goal for everybody's worlds in it. So it's everybody wants to get to that stage. We can all dream of it. So that's where I would love to be. But that's who knows what could happen there. We could end up anywhere.
Man, listen, BSB to me is the best, and I've said this, and I can't stress enough. Out of every production racing category in the world, BSB is where it's at, man. You guys, your tracks, the way you guys ride, where the 1000s, you know, the super stocks got more electronics than the super bikes. So the super bikes to me is like old school proper way of racing, man. Before all the freaking electronics come in, when we had the 750s versus the V-twin 1000s, where there was no traction control, all this was your traction control, your anti-wheelie, your rear brake, climbing all over the front to keep it down as you're on the throttle. I miss those days, right? And BSB it is the closest thing. It's like, and I tell my friends, they're like, and I get a lot of shit, dude, from my American friends. They're like, well, you live in America and Moto America and blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, listen, watch BSB, learn about the history of it, and you see ex MotoGP riders, Tito Rabat, come to race in BSB, ends up going to Cadwell Park, packs his shit up and leaves, right? Because he's like, I can't do this no more, right? So, bro, what does that tell you about the riders and racers in BSB right there, right? To me, you guys have the best central hub out of any production-based racing in the world, simply for the fact that you guys got so many racetracks close to you, right?
Yeah.
So your travel expense ain't nowhere near like it is for, I'm gonna use America, bro. I'm in Roanoke, Virginia. If I was gonna drive to Laguna Seca in California, that's a 3-day trip. 3 whole days, Adam. Imagine that. The gas, the food, that's like retarded, right?
Yeah, we have so much in like a really confined space that
it's
8
more
hours is our
affordable.
furthest track.
Right.
So
It's more
good.
affordable for you guys as far as that goes, right? The closest racetrack to me is Virginia International Raceway. It's like an hour and 40 minutes away, depending on the traffic. I have Road Atlanta, Mid Ohio, Jersey, and VIR are my closest tracks. VIR is the closest. Road Atlanta, Mid Ohio, and Jersey, they're all 6 hours away from my doorstep. And then I got Daytona, Florida, right, which is the premier. That is our premier racing in America. That's where everybody wants to go, is race the Daytona 200. Let's just be honest, right? That's like an 11-hour drive for me, which ain't bad. But I mean, 11 hours for you guys, shit, you can be in Italy, right? I mean, you could be a lot of different places in 11 hours. So yeah, it's freaking amazing, man. And who obviously you got new teammates next year.
Well, I'm just basically joining into the team. So Carter and Morgan McLaren Wood are both staying with JDM. They have re-signed for this year, so it's basically just I'm coming in as an add-on.
You're gonna come in and kick everybody's ass is what you're gonna do. Exactly what you're gonna do, Adam. Oh man, I love it, dude. It is, man. You know, it's but again, you can do it and you belong here, right? So yeah, there's no reason that you will not succeed. And listen, Adam, I hope that wherever level you see yourself at, whether you want to, World Superbike, you want to be there, right? I hope you achieve that goal, and I hope I hope you win the titles 8 times over in World Superbike, man. I really do. I'll be cheering you on the whole way for sure. Do you have a club Adam Brown? Brown?
I actually don't. I do a little bit of fundraising at the start of each season, but I don't really have a club membership type thing at all, really.
You should.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing it, and it seems to be the way to raise funds, but also give back to the people that are investing into you. So we are going to look into it. We have had a few chats with mum and dad and stuff about what we can do to work it out.
I'm a huge fan. I try to get all my American buddies over here to start a club. I think it's important for so many different reasons. Me being a fan, right? I feel like I sign up for Adam Brown's club. I give you your 50 pounds or whatever it is. I get a shirt, a hat, whatever, right? A name, all that stuff, right? I feel like I'm actually part of something, not just a fan anymore, right? Like I'm on your journey, but I'm emotionally invested, not just watching it, right? And cheering for you. And that's a big difference to people that donate, right? Plus you build fans for life. You build people that's going to follow you and sign up for your club every year, no questions asked, right? And it's also a good way to give back, like you said, to the racing community and all the fans, yeah, you should, dude. You do. You already got one sign up right here. Absolutely, I'd sign up, dude. And speaking of that, bro, do you have any merch at all?
No, I actually don't, but we have. I'm actually not allowed to say, but there will be merch for me at the beginning of the year by one of the brands, the clothing brands.
Well, mate, when it's ready, you gotta send me a message because I'll send you some funds so I can get me a hat and a t-shirt or a
Sick.
sweatshirt so I can wear it on the podcast and and represent you out here. I got obviously my man Jake Marsh right here. I got Cameron Frazier. I got one of his t-shirts and one of his hoodies. And yeah, I love to support all my friends, right, in racing around the world. I'd rather give you the money and support you than freaking Top Rack or freaking anybody like that that's made it, that makes millions of dollars. At who cares, right? And I'm not emotionally invested in any of those guys, right? We're just huge fans of them. But again, I'd rather support my friends that actually race than everybody else that made it, if that makes sense. So yeah, listen, Adam, dude, we're 40 minutes into this already. I told you it was going to go by fast, right? So I want to transition into what's my favorite part of the podcast, where we get to know Adam Brown on a personal level, right? Away from all the race and all that. I know, I see you. So my first question I want to ask you is, what's for dinner tonight?
Oh, dinner tonight's probably going to be roast beef, potatoes and broccoli or something. That's usually what we would do on a Sunday here. We have a big Sunday roast, what we would call it.
I love it, dude. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Do you have any pets?
I have a dog, yeah. I have one dog.
It, dude. I got a dog too. She's actually, you probably seen her walk in my bedroom here, but this is my baby girl Charlie right here. She's in here with me every freaking podcast. She's 13-year-old pit bull. She's absolutely amazing. She stinks, bro. I need to give her a bath. So after this, when my wife comes home, because I got this elbow cast on, I can't really get it wet, but I got this. Man, I can't wait to get this cast off, bro. It's it's dude. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So do you have a girlfriend, mate?
No, I actually don't.
Oh, ladies, we got a single man in the house. Let's go. I love it, dude. I love it. Are you a coffee drinker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So Adam, tell us something we don't know about you. Uh-oh.
Shit.
You're good.
Somebody phoned me.
No, you're good.
I don't really think there's anything that nobody knows about me, to be truthfully honest. Like, I don't really think so. Because I'm pretty open and everybody sort of... Oh.
You got mates blowing you up right now. I see you on this podcast, Adam.
I need to put my phone on do not disturb.
Oh, man. There's got to be something, Adam. Like, I don't like sauerkraut. I can't stand sauerkraut personally, right? So
I don't really know what I would have.
Let me ask you this then. When I was over there, bro, my good mate Daniel Parker, he's a rider mindset coach that works with Finn Wheaton and all them, right? He's like, dude, you got to try black pudding. And I was like, okay. So me being an American, I'm thinking of our black pudding, right? I'm like, yeah, dude, black pudding is good. Let me try it. Dude, absolutely not. It was one of the most horrible things I've ever tried in my life was the black pudding. So
I love black pudding.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Right. It's not for everybody.
It's like something we would have in what we would call a fry. If we were having like a breakfast fry, we would have a lot of black pudding. I think it's nice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, you can have all the black pudding you want, buddy. You don't ever have to worry about me eating any of it. I didn't try the white pudding, so when I do come out there, I want to try it. Right? It's I believe that you got to try everything once, right? Because you never know, you might like it. You know, it's something I teach my son. His name's Hayden Rossi, after Nicky Hayden and Valentino, and he used to be that way. I don't want to try it. I don't want to try it. I don't want to try it. Now I got him to the point where I'm like, dude, I just made this. Try it. And he either loves it or he's like, it could, because I like to cook. So he'll be like, maybe it needs a little bit more salt, daddy, right? So I'm trying to get him into, you know, tasting and trying new things. Yes, man. Yes. I think it's very important as you take your beautiful journey through life, instead of just being, I see it, people being single-minded vision, right? Where they're just stuck on this certain things and never strays from the path. And if you don't stray from the path, how do you really know what greatness you can achieve if you're on this, you know, single path? So yeah, man. What do you do for work for your job?
So I run my own business as I'm a carpenter or joiner, whatever way you want to say it. So I've been doing that for quite a while now. Yeah, and I love it as well.
I love it, man. I love it. I actually did carpentry for a couple years, man. Yeah, I know how to frame in a house. Not a whole house, but I know how to frame in walls and hang drywall and freaking put door frames in and
Hmm.
windows and yada yada yada. It's good skill, Adam, to have, because when you do eventually have your own house and something goes
Yeah,
wrong, you ain't got to call somebody. You can just go out and buy the and fix it yourself, right? And then you know you're doing it right because you're doing it. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, and the whole plumbing square and level and all that yada 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 stuff. So, yeah, man. What's your worst habit, Adam?
Oh, uh, probably speeding.
In a car, right? Or a
Yeah,
van. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's awesome. That's yeah, I got a heavy foot to myself. He said probably speeding. I love it. um, I'm a big audiobook listener too, right? I
Mm.
listen to a ton of audiobooks. Is that something you do too as well?
No, I would listen to a lot of podcasts, but not really so much audiobooks.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you an audiobook recommendation you've absolutely got to listen to, and it's John Hopkins Leathered. Um,
Mm.
I've listened to all Guy Martin's, dude. Any motorcycle racer that's got an audiobook, this guy has it, and I've listened to it. But John Hopkins' audiobook is one of those rare books where he puts everything out there. There's no holding back, because a lot of times when you read books or audio books or audio biographies, you get a feeling that it's not all 100% accurate or true, right?
Mm.
Because when they rate their book or they write their book, they want everything to be um, as best that it can be, right? Not a lot
Yeah.
of people want to talk about their negative sides and stuff like that, or put their business out there. With John Hopkins,
Mm.
bro, Adam, he's talking about smoking weed
Yeah.
and then racing a MotoGP bike. It's like, dude, John McGinnis would never come out and say, I hit the joint 3 times and jumped on my TT bike. Even if he
No.
did, that's something he would never fucking say in public, right?
No.
So that's what I mean by that. It's such an in-depth, everything on the table. It's listen, bro, give it a listen. Trust
Mm.
me, you will thank me. Podcast, bro. I listen to a shit ton of podcasts
Yeah.
myself, right? Obviously from motorcycle racing, because that's what we do, right? And then I listen to like Joe Rogan,
Yeah. Joe Rogan's good. He's one of
right?
my favorites.
Me too. Danny Jones is another good
Hmm.
one. He's like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Lex Friedman. I mean, there's actually a lot of them I listen to. What podcasts do you listen to and that you can recommend to people listening?
Oh,
Of course, Off Track with our mate Dave Neal, right?
Off Track is good.
Obviously,
Yes,
yes.
Off Track is
Chasing
good.
the Racing Baby's one of my favorite.
I would actually probably say Off Track because I would say I've watched every Off Track podcast there is. It's brilliant. It
It
really is.
is. It is. And Dave and Jennifer. Listen, mates, nothing but love to them too. They're freaking amazing. Yeah, it was so good to see Dave. He actually flew out here him and Jennifer come to the MotoGP race. I met them out here in Texas, and then
Mm.
yeah, later on that year, I was at Cadwell Park hanging out with them. Man, I met so many people. Jamie Hollins is another one I
Yeah.
met through Dave Neal. He's freaking amazing. Caden Wilkinson. I mean, Luke Hedger. I mean, dude,
Mm.
again, the list goes on and on. It's yeah, man, absolutely awesome, dude. So you don't listen to Pin to Gas podcast, Adam?
Oh, I
What?
do, yeah, but
I
I
know. I'm
can't.
just
I
messing with you.
didn't want to promote you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you, bro. But yeah, I do listen. Off Track. I actually got Dave Neal. We exchanged T-shirts. I did have it hanging up right here. I actually wore it the other day. I don't really wear my friend's shirt out a lot in public because I only got one, and I don't want to
Yeah.
ruin it or get it, messed up and blah blah blah. So I only wear it basically when I display it, or I'll wear it on the podcast. But yeah, Dave Neal's is absolutely amazing, man. So are you ready for Santa Claus yet this year? Have you been a naughty boy or a good boy?
Don't know what's on the table for Christmas this year. To be honest, I don't really know what. I don't really like getting much of Christmas. I'm not really a Christmas person. I like Christmas, but I'm not the person to like expect getting. stuff off my mum and dad whenever I have my own money to buy it myself, and
Yeah.
all the money and funding they've put into me over the last couple of years. So if I got the chocolate bar under the tree, or that would do me all right. I'm not really a person that likes taking too much back.
Right, right. Or an off-track t-shirt or a beanie hat or something. Yeah, man. Let's go. I love it, dude. Are you a Star Wars or a Star Trek guy?
Neither.
Neither. What DC or Marvel?
Neither.
Neither. Okay, okay.
I'm a
Do
real I would watch a lot of like Wolf of Wall Street sort of
okay.
type of things like that. So it's not really, I wouldn't really watch any of them like Marvel movies or anything.
No sci-fi movies.
No.
It's all good. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. I like Marvel and DC. I'm a nerd, right? But I like murder mystery movies. I like,
Yeah,
dude.
that's what I'd be into.
I've been binge watching the shit out of Fear the Walking Dead. I have been
Yeah.
binge watching that. That's good. Yeah, so celebrity crush, Adam. Who's your celebrity crush?
That's easy. Megan Fox.
There you
2000s
go.
Megan Fox, absolutely.
Right? Oh my god. So Adam, if you had your own personal track day, right? But you can invite any three people in the world, dead or alive, right? Who would you invite to your track day?
Jonathan Ray.
Johnny Ray.
Johnny Ray. Oh. Probably Marquez. Marquez and probably Glenn around the Irwin.
Legend, man. Legend.
Because I know them and it's sort of we have a good fun and stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Glenn, I had the honor to meet Glenn and Andy
Yep.
at Cadwell. Met Shaky Byrne. I've been a huge fan of Shaky, and I was like, holy shit, there's Shaky Byrne. I was like, mate, dude. And he was like, holy shit, your energy is just intense. I was like, bro, I'm Simcoe from America, blah, 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 blah. And everybody's like, where'd this guy come from? Who is this guy over here with all this energy? Yeah, man, I'm a huge fan. So I got Miguel Dumel right here, number 17. The poster below it is Joey Dunlop, right? In 2000 on the RC51 SP1 at the last TT win. And then the poster below him is Giacomo Agostini at the TT. So yeah, there's a picture of Johnny Ray right next to my leathers when he was racing with the Honda Red Bull at Cadwell Park, just fucking sending it off the mountain jump, bro. And listen, so when I went to Cadwell, of course, I showed up on a Thursday, and there's actually a track day going on. And of course, the first section I go to is I got to go see the mountain jump, the famous mountain jump. And what blew me away was not the jump, was how narrow the track was. I was like, holy shit, dude, this is a parking spot. This ain't a freaking racetrack. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, dude, freaking amazing. So as little time as you've been road racing, Adam, what is your most favorite track right now?
Cadwell or Thruxton.
Love Cadwell, man.
Yeah, Cadwell is one of my favorites. I do love Cadwell, but I also really, really enjoy Thruxton.
I haven't been to Thruxton. I've been to the only two tracks I've been out there is Cadwell and Brands Hatch.
Yeah, Brands is good too.
It's and those two are yin and yang, meaning that Cadwell is this wide, Brands Hatch is this freaking wide, right? I was like, dude, it's complete opposite of Cadwell. And it's a lot shorter too. But yeah, it was amazing. So thanks to my good mate Daniel for taking me to Brands. Actually, on the way home from Cadwell. Let me ask you this: what is your all-time favorite meal?
Meal? Oh, it's hard to beat a good steak.
I love steak too, man. I eat the shit out of steak. Me too, man. How do you like your steak cooked?
Oh, medium rare.
Yes. I was so hoping you weren't going to say done. I'm like, dude, I'm going to put you in the category of my wife. That's gross, dude. You got to have a steak, dude. That's juicy and tender, not a freaking charcoal rock.
No.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my wife's same thing. So let me ask you this. Are you PlayStation or Xbox?
I always had Xboxes growing up. I never really had a PlayStation. It's probably Xbox.
Okay. Do you own one now?
No.
No, he
Well, I
said
do,
no.
but it stays in the truck. I leave it in the camper, the race truck. So I would like watch YouTube and stuff on it whenever I'm chilling, but I don't really use it anymore. Sort of grew out of it a little bit.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. I can't help it. I'm a nerd. I play freaking
Yeah,
PlayStation. Rod 5. I'm currently playing Rod 5.
yeah,
Oh,
like
which reminds me, so Rod 5 just got a new
BSB
thing to where,
upgrades.
dude, BSB and Moto America bikes. Of course, you
Yeah.
know what I'm gonna go in there here and yeah, man, I can't I gotta kick my son off of Fortnite first before I can play because he's a Fortnite junkie for sure. Him and his friends all the time. Fortnite. I'm like, it's cool. I get it. Adam, I try to play it and get into it, and I'm like, yeah, it's not for me. So
No.
yeah, definitely not for me. So would you ever race the Isle of Man TT
No.
or give road racing a shot?
I would love to do the Northwest 200 because I live like 45 minutes to an hour away from the Northwest 200, so it's just a home race and it's one of the biggest road races in the world.
I love it. It is, dude. It's absolutely amazing. And then, Glenn Irvin announced his retirement
Yeah.
from, road racing, which is just awesome. But dude, 11 times in a row. I mean, that's he is definitely one of the gods of speeds,
Yeah.
for sure. So yeah. And when I first heard it, my buddy actually sent me the video. He's like, dude, Glenn Irvin just retired. Like, dude, Glenn did not retire full. He retired from road
From the
racing.
roads.
He's like,
Yeah.
well, that is road racing. I'm like, nah, bro. He's talking about the roads. He's like, I don't get it. I'm like, bro,
Like
the
public
Northwest
roads.
200. Yeah, like the Alaman TT, the Macau,
Yeah.
stuff like that. He's like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm like, yeah, he ain't going nowhere anytime soon. I promise you that. Bro, so what's after racing, Adam?
Whew.
It's a
Probably.
question I like to ask because a lot of riders don't think about that, right? But I also think it's important to think about
Yeah.
because you're not going to race for the rest of your life. So
See, obviously I have my business and stuff, so that's actually doing well. So it'll probably just be keep that on, expand that while I'm still racing, and then if racing ever comes to a close, I've always got that plan B.
yeah, absolutely. So let's say your racing career is over. Would you still like to work within the paddock, like helping the future youth or?
I would like to do something and give back to the sport, but in what way I'm not sure unless it came to that time really.
Oh, you'll figure it out when it does. So this is a question I like to ask all my friends that race too. So if Adam Brown had your own team, right? It could be Superbike. Let's do this. Your own British Superbike team. Okay. What manufacturer motorcycle would you run? And who is the two current riders on the grid that you would put on your team?
Ducati with Hmm, that is a fucking tough one.
It's a good question, ain't it?
Mm. Probably somebody from home. So, likes of like a Jack Burrows, Moto Talent Cup rider. So, and somebody like a experienced rider, like a Cameron Dawson or somebody maybe.
Yeah, Cameron Dawson. He's awesome. What's the one? If you could choose one superpower, what's the one superpower you would choose?
Um, I think being able to fly would be pretty cool.
Flying would be cool, right? Or teleportation,
Yeah.
right? Because you could just teleport somewhere real quick, be like, dude, I'm going to UK. I'll be back in 20 minutes or whatever. Boom, I'm there, right? That'd be, yeah, bro. That would be freaking awesome. So, listen, we're almost an hour into this. We're going to end this here in a minute, and I'll let you give all your shout outs and all that here in a minute. But, what would be your spirit animal?
Ooh, I was asked this quite recently. Um, I don't know. Polar bear or something.
I'd be a dog.
Yeah, I was actually asked that quite recently by somebody.
Yeah.
Can't really remember the other one.
Because dogs are loyal, right? They're loyal.
Yeah.
I'm a loyal guy. They're super loyal and loving and put out nothing but positive energy all the time. You don't hardly ever meet a negative dog, right? And if you
No.
do, there's a story behind the reason why that dog is negative, right? So yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Well, listen, dude, this has been a lot of fun. I can't wait
Yeah.
to. We will definitely schedule a part two. I'll send you some dates, and some times, and we'll get into a part two. Of course, it'll be. I'd like to get you on, right before the BSB season starts. I'd like to do a mid-season recap, and then again, we'll sit down at the end of 2025 and talk about the whole season and what Superbike team we're going to be racing for in 2026, and yeah, all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna let you give all your shout outs. But first, I just want to say thanks to Next Level Financial for all your love and support, Seth. It means absolutely everything to me. BisonTrack.com, people, again, sign up, get that full custom suit started. Adam will tell you there's no reason you want to spend your money on an off the rack suit when it's not gonna fit you. It's like buying a pair of tennis shoes that's too small or too big. What's the point, right? It's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to be able to run right, walk right, any of that stuff. Big shout out to Chef Eats. So Adam out here, I got a good buddy of mine. He's a chef, obviously, but he has his food a company called Chef Eats, and he pre-makes athlete meals, just all kinds of meals, right? Instead of taking the charcoal grill or the gas grill to the racetrack, all you need is a microwave. You throw it in there for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It is super delicious, dude. I love his steak. It's awesome. The chicken. The last thing that I ate from him, I need to order more, was I had a Philly cheesesteak tortellini. Oh my God, it was so good. Yeah, and like I said, he caters them to however you want your meal, right? If you're on this strict diet, he can make it that way, with no seasonings and stuff like that. Big shout out to SFL Mini GP out here in America, Adam. It's, to me, it's the best racing program we have as far as our future of our sports go, right? We got one in Jersey, one in South Florida. Dude, I know you heard of Brandon Posh, Gus Rodeo, right? Where do you think they come from? SFL Mini GP, right? So and what I love about them too, Adam, is a no hassle, no bullshit excuse experience, meaning that, Adam, you sign up and you register. You don't need a motorcycle, you don't need leathers, you don't need boots, you don't need a helmet. They provide everything. And you can rent a bike. So let's say you show up, you have a CRF 100, but you always wanted to try a CRF 150, right? You can rent it, try it out before you go out and spend your hard-earned money on something that you're not really going to like, right? So it's freaking amazing program, what they have. Big shout out to my mates at RD Racing, Pete and Jake Marsh, absolute legends. I love you, mates, man. You guys don't even know. So keep an eye out for Jake. He's coming back, and Keo Walker and everybody at RD Racing, man, nothing but love. And Vet2 Track, I got a buddy out here, Adam, that has a program. It's called Vet2 Track. It's for veterans, right? And his motto is helping cure PTSD one lap at a time, which is an awesome program. Big shout out to 64 Degree Racing, my man Tate. So out here in America, you guys have 151 undersuits and all that, right? So we got 64 Degree, we got Bison, we got V&M. But my buddy Tate actually sent me a custom two-piece undersuit, and it is one of my favorite undersuits. A two-piece goes, and everybody knows. Well, I hope everybody learns or listens. You need more than one undersuit. Do not show up to a track day or a race event with one, because trust me, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna go put that thing on, and it's gonna be crusty, musty, stinking. You don't want that. Trust me, you do not want that. Big shout out to Ghetto Customs for all your custom body work. Big shout out, dude, bro. Have you heard of the Clothing Kings?
No.
Bro, listen, I got to hook you up. So my man Martin that owns the Clothing King, you guys can go to clothingkings.co.uk and get all your Pendergast merch. Right here it is, right? When we get off camera, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Martin and his business. The Clothing Kings, dude, is absolutely amazing. But we'll talk about that. Big shout out to my friend Shane at BSB Barmy Army. I know you heard of them. Their program's absolutely amazing. Big shout out to STG for all your sports bike needs. I need everybody to go to the Road Racing World Fund. So out here, Road Racing World, Chris and John Ulrich, what they do is I need people to go there and sign up and donate to the air fence, right? Because it's imperative we have
Yeah.
air fences around the tracks, just like in BSB, World Superbike, everywhere. If we didn't have the air fences, Adam wouldn't be able to do what he does. Nobody would, right? So even if you donate $10, every bit helps, right? Because air fences are super expensive and we need them if we want to continue racing. So everybody go to roadracingworld.com, donate to the fund and the air fence. And if you show up at a Moto America event, and I think the minimum for a 2-up ride. So Adam, you show up to Moto America, you donate $350, you get a 2-up seat ride with Chris Ulrich out there on a racetrack, right? On a GSX-R 1000. Imagine that, right? That'd be one hell of a ride for sure. Anybody out there looking to buy a motorcycle, a UTV, a ATV, or getting some performance tuning done, look no further than Carnes Performance in Pennsylvania. If you're not wearing a KYT helmet, right, which is some of the best helmets out there on the market. I mean, and I say that because all these sponsorships are all my personal friends, right? I don't ask for anything. I just want to see them succeed and grow too as well, right? But dude, bang for the buck, KYT, dude, a KYT is a Suwami helmet in America. Okay. Dude, we've all paid a shit ton of money for our helmet, right? I bought a Piesta GPRR, whatever it is, Rossi version, right? Look, this is my son Rossi. Say hi to Adam.
What's up?
What's up?
All right, buddy.
Look what I made.
Look, go ahead, show him.
Look, I got this knife. It's one that my dad has on his one. Hold on, let me try to find it.
Dude, it's out there in my car. It's not in here.
Well, it's the one where you like do that and it goes up.
Dude, that's awesome.
I had to steal one of them.
So my son, he's into like butterfly knives, so he makes them out of Legos and stuff. So he made his first like little automatic knife, which is super cool.
That's sick.
Yeah, with the rubber band. Look at that. Look, you're so smart. You know that? That's awesome. Yeah, so KYT helmets and of course all my mates at K-Tech Suspension. If you're not on K-Tech Suspension, what are you riding on? Right? Yes, I know it's Olin's out there and all that, but you want to go K-Tech, trust me. But yeah, listen, Adam, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you on all social medias and all that good stuff.
Yeah, my Instagram handle is Adam D_3. Obviously the Facebook is just Adam Brown Racing. And then my personal Facebook is just Adam Brown. That's really all the links I have.
Listen. Yeah, dude, listen, everybody go send them, go follow them on all social medias. Keep an eye out in 2025 for Adam stepping on that top step and getting a bunch of wins. And yeah, can't wait to see what the future holds. You guys stay tuned because part 2 will be coming up early next year with Adam, and we'll pick up where we left off. So yeah, absolutely, mate. Thank you so much. Just stay on here with me for another minute, and then I'll let you go after in the podcast. And again, thank you guys so much for.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude, listen, the honor's on mine. And thanks to everybody that watches the podcast. If you guys not had a chance, please go like and subscribe on my YouTube, Facebook, yada, all the social medias. I'm everywhere, right? It helps me out. Yeah, and thanks everybody for the love and support. This episode will be out on everywhere you listen to your podcast tomorrow morning, and I will tag Adam in it. And I'll send him a direct message with all the links. And yeah, so listen, ladies and gentlemen, it was an honor today to sit down with the legend, Adam Brown. Appreciate it, man. All right, let me end this.